Welcome to everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you all for the first class of Upright Wisdom with David Zemach-Bersin. My name is Juniper. I'm the managing producer for Feldenkrais Access. If we haven't met before, I'm so happy to virtually meet you and happy to be here with you all for this exciting series. We are also joined today by Anastasia Siotis, who is a Feldenkrais trainer candidate, joining us from Manhattan, New York. And Anastasia is here to help if you have any questions or confusion during the course of the lesson. If you're joining from Zoom, you can reach out to Anastasia in the chat function. You can reach him either by sending him a message uh, privately or just write to everyone in Zoom. And if you're joining us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, you can send a question by writing into the comments section of one of those platforms, whatever platform you're on. And even if this live stream has ended, please continue to send in a question if you have it, and we will answer it as soon as possible. And we're also joined today by Nadia Genois, who is a Feldenkrais practitioner joining us from Montreal. Nadia will be doing the lesson in a chair today. And if you need to modify the instructions to be seated in a chair, you can see how Nadia is engaging with the instructions. I will be spotlighting her periodically throughout the course of the lesson. And if you need to see her more often, please feel free to send me a message either in the Zoom chat or in the comments section. Always happy to hear your feedback about that. And we will also be periodically spotlighting our team of practitioners who are doing the lesson as instructed along with you. Many of them are showing some different adaptations for lying on your front, on their front today. So if you need some extra guidance, getting comfortable lying on your stomach, you'll be able to see how other people are making themselves comfortable. And I hope that's helpful. But please feel free to send in a message at any time if you need some extra assistance around that. And David will say more about it. If you are joining us on Zoom, it's really helpful if you position your camera in such a way that your whole self is in view. So if you can do that, that'd be great. And then if you can't, if you could just press the stop video option in your Zoom menu, that's also helpful. A reminder that if you haven't yet registered, the early bird deadline for the course ends on Monday, so I hope you can take advantage of that. And if you are a furloughed employee, Feldenkrais Access is offering a special discount. You can reach out to communications@feldenkraisaccess.com. I'll put that email into the chat so you can click on it if you'd like to email us to inquire about that. And that's it from me. I'll hand you over to David.
Thank you, Juniper. And hello to everyone. I'm glad to be here with you. This is the first class in my new series, Upright Wisdom, Feldenkrais Lessons for Gravitational Intelligence. I know that sounds like a mouthful, but in this series, I'm going to share Feldenkrais lessons, some of which are original to me, some of which I learned from Dr. Feldenkrais, that are specifically designed to give you the sensory and neurological information that you need to rewire your brain for healthy, light, easy movement and improved postural organization. Gravity exerts a constant downward force on us. In other words, gravity pulls us each down toward the earth. Every moment of our lives, this is occurring. But thanks to our skeleton and our anti-gravity muscles, we have a way to counter or combat this downward force, and thus you are able to hold yourself upright despite gravity. Our anti-gravity muscles are primarily the muscles of our back, and we learn how to use them when we are very young. During that time that we spend on our stomach, between approximately, of course, infancy and about age 3, the neuromuscular patterns that we develop lying on our stomach actually become the neuromuscular foundation of our, you might say, our upright future as adults. It's an organization that will, and learning that will influence your upright posture, your movement that takes place up when you're upright, everything that we do when you are upright. Now, the issue becomes that as you mature, your original gravitational wisdom, if I can say it like that, and those foundational patterns that you formed to begin with when lying on your stomach are gradually challenged, and I would even say eroded as we work, play, live our lives. Our upright comfort is slowly, over time, compromised. Means that years of being oriented forward or forward and downward. In other words, we sit and what we're interested in is in front of us. We round ourselves, we tilt ourselves forward. We're looking at screens, at telephones, at computers most of our lives now, as opposed to many years ago. Most of our life takes place forward and down, and this takes an enormous toll on our anti-gravity muscles and our postural organization. And because life isn't always easy for any of us, another variable in this process can be our emotional, psychological history, how feelings of anxiety or tension or depression tend to bring us further forward and down, meaning it's the way that I make myself feel safe. So that's all by way of saying that I am very, very excited to teach this series, because I believe that these lessons that I'm going to share with you are the antidote we all need to slow this process of being pulled forward and down, to inhibit this process, and to begin to be more upright in an easy, simple, healthy way. I've been a Feldenkrais teacher now for 50 years, and I believe that these particular lessons are extremely powerful and will help each of you to restore your body's full, upright comfort and wisdom. Now, just one more little thing. For those of you who are with us for the very first time, I just give you a little introduction to myself. I studied with Dr. Moshe Feldenkrais, who developed the ideas behind the Feldenkrais method. And Historically, until the pandemic, I spent my time training new Feldenkrais teachers, and I worked in Europe and here in the United States, and mentoring practitioners, and of course working with individuals with chronic difficulties in my private practice. But when the pandemic hit, I began teaching online, and I have found teaching online to be a wonderful way to bring the benefits of Feldenkrais lessons to more people, and to help more people to be healthy and pain-free. In other words, bringing the benefits of the Feldenkrais method to you. The lessons work. They are effective. They work by engaging the flexible learning centers of your brain, and exploiting, using your inherent neuroplasticity in a very natural, comfortable way. The lessons are easy to do, and I believe that you will feel improvements today. Today, when we finish the first lesson, I believe that you will feel a significant difference already. So the lessons work by facilitating the communication of useful information between your brain and your body. These are not exercises. You don't need to strain. You don't need to do as much as you can. You don't need to work hard. In fact, all these things actually inhibit or constrain your ability to improve. We're using a process that's going on all the time between your brain, your nervous system, your musculature, your body, and we're just shaping it. You will see what I mean by that. Shaping it in a way that I believe will be of real benefit to you. So again, to redirect myself back to those who have never been here before, please just do the movements, just do them in an easy, slow way. You'll see that is exactly that doing the movements slowly and making them small is exactly what facilitates this communication with your brain, and provide you with new options. You'll see what I mean. What I am saying maybe sounds abstract right now, but you'll see what I mean as soon as we start. And I'll remind you of these things along the way. Now, and if you have the slightest bit of discomfort, please make the movement smaller. Do only what you can do that feels comfortable for you. And I think as you continue just today, you'll begin to have a new way of calibrating what do I mean by comfortable for you. Today's lesson, as Juniper alluded to, will involve lying on our stomach for the majority of the lesson. And so I understand I have received emails, what we used to call letters. I've received emails from a few people saying that they've never been comfortable lying on their stomach, or that a physical therapist told them to never lie on their stomach. And so we're going to provide you now for the next minute or two with what I hope will be accommodations for those of you, and to help you to feel safe, to feel comfortable, to be able to breathe easily while approximating lying on your stomach. And to that end, we're going to, what, Juniper, did we
Did
say
you?
that drawings first or second?
That's
Second.
right. Drawings first. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
So I just want to make clear, these accommodations are if you need them. If you are having apprehensions about lying on your stomach, then here are some potential, because I don't know how it is that you feel the discomfort. So we're going to show you many options that I would use with my students if we were together. So here's an illustration of some potential accommodations drawn by my better half. And so one is, many people feel that they have issues with their neck and are uncomfortable lying on the floor because of discomfort of the neck. And so one is to put some kind of padding in front of yourself. Another would be to do the lesson, say, for example, the bottom right figure, doing the lesson with pillows in front of yourself, and thus taking this strain off the neck. Some of you may have shoulder discomfort. Very common to have shoulder discomfort. And thank you. And the upper left figure, you can see putting a pillow in front of the shoulder, and hopefully that, so that it raises the shoulder girdle and the shoulder blade away from the floor, and hopefully that can work for you. I think quite a few of you might feel some discomfort in having the legs long, and so rolling up a towel, rolling up a blanket, and putting it in front of the ankles is will help you and will eliminate that discomfort. Now, some of you may feel tension, discomfort in your lower back, somehow exacerbated by lying on your stomach. And for that, I would recommend a pillow in front of your pelvis that helps to diminish the curve in your lower back. Also, you can put a long pillow or a mattress pad or a comforter in front of yourself. Many people have tenderness or discomfort in their chest, the ribs pressing against the floor, and you can see that there's 3 accommodations that are illustrated here. And if it's, the other is lying in your bed, on your bed. So meaning that you have the softness, the give of your mattress in front of you. And if all of these solutions, accommodations, don't solve your discomfort, You can also do the lesson in sitting. And as Juniper mentioned, Nadia will be part of our beautiful volunteer group. She'll be who are all practitioners in their own right. She will be doing the lesson in sitting, and she will be highlighted periodically by Juniper. Would you like to show?
I would love to.
Okay. So here there you go. So here you can see everybody. That's a good one, Alessandra. If somebody were to have discomfort with the pressure of the knees on the floor, you don't necessarily only have to do that long comforter in front of yourself, but also you could put some kind of padding in front of your knees, or a doubled up blanket. All right, so I think again and further, just to realize that we really mean it when we say Feldenkrais access. If you have any difficulties making this accommodation or any questions about accommodating to the lesson instructions, then you use the chat function and you'll reach Juniper or Anastasi. All right. Okay. So let's begin. And that means to please, if you feel it, or if you understand already that you're going to want the pillow or blanket and fold it up, please go and get it now. And otherwise, let's begin by lying on your back. And just to remind you, you don't need to have your camera on, but if you're willing to, it helps me to offer you the best possible instructions and how to adjust what I say to what will be helpful. And please take a moment to simply sense and feel your contact with the floor. Without evaluating yourself, without judging, and just feel air coming into your nostrils and then the air leaving your nostrils as you exhale. And feel that the air that comes in is cooler than the air that leaves your nostrils. And just observe if one side of your lower back is closer to the floor or further away from the floor than the other side, but not by adjusting yourself or thinking of correcting yourself how you're lying on the floor. This approach is completely non-corrective, non-corrective, non-evaluative, non-judgmental. You'll see that the correction, if you will take place spontaneously. You don't have to try to improve. And now your shoulder blades. Is one shoulder blade lying closer to the floor or further away from the floor than the other? It's true for most people. Most people can feel clearly that one shoulder blade is flatter or more in contact with the floor than the other. So you just observe yourself. And now, just in your imagination, if you will, draw a line that goes from the top of your head down your forehead to your nose, and then continues, of course, across your lips and your chin. And just extend that imaginary line and observe where do you imagine it's going? Not interested in it being absolutely correct. In other words, your impression, but where do you think that line would go? To your left foot or to your right foot? In other words, what is the orientation of your chin in relationship to that line and your chest? Good. That's excellent. Now, please lie. Now, just want another word or two of preface before we begin the lesson, that if we're doing something that is uncomfortable, of course, please rest or lie on your back. And you can rest as often as you want. You can just do one or two movements and then rest, even to go to rest on your back. But if you feel discomfort and you have some kind of chronic ache or pain, say shoulder is a good example, or your neck, and you prefer to start the lesson on the opposite side, please feel welcome to do that. Okay? So please lie on your left side if you're comfortable lying on your left side. And your left arm is long so that your left ear is lying on your left arm, and your knees are one knee lying on top of the other. And your knees are more or less perpendicular to your pelvis. That means there's a straight line that goes from your hip joints, crosses over your knees, and then goes to the wall in front of you. That would be perpendicular. And now slowly, and your right hand is standing in front of you. Your fingers are pointed more or less upwards. And now slowly begin to slide your right hand up the floor, slowly. That means toward the wall that's above your head. And you just slowly, and only what's easy, you slide your hand on the floor upwards. You don't need to lift your arm or lift your elbow. You can just make that very, very simple. Means you allow your right arm to be heavy. And now see if you can exhale as you slide your arm up. That's right. And then you bring your right hand back to we could call it neutral, where your elbow goes a little bit toward the ceiling. That's right. More toward the ceiling. And now slowly follow your right hand going up with your eyes, which means that your chin rises a little bit away from your throat. You feel that? If you think of your eyes following your right hand as your right arm, it's straightening, isn't it? That's it. Very good. As you exhale. Now, this time, see if you can notice that your right knee, which is lying on top of your left knee, is going a little forward. You feel that? That your right knee, which is lying on top of your left knee, is going a tiny bit forward. In other words, it's sliding forward on top of your left knee. And of course, this represents that your right hip is going a little forward. So just feel that as you, again, the movement of the right hand is slow and just what's easy. And you feel, now here's maybe the most important thing. You feel, where can you reduce your effort? Where can you reduce your ambition? Remember, I said we're not trying to achieve something. We're actually trying to do less. That's right. And the movement of the head is in relationship to the movement of your right hand. It's not a sudden movement of your head. It's in relationship to that movement of your hand. Some of you, your eyes are far past where your hand is. See if you can watch your hand, and then your head will move. Can you see your hand? That's right. Good. Now, just a couple of times, try this. Try looking down, not lifting your head, just look with your eyes downwards towards your feet as you slide your arm up, and notice the difference in your sensation of your right arm. Notice the difference in your sensation. Not it's Would you say that when you look down with your eyes, that your right arm becomes easier to slide up or more difficult to slide upwards? Okay. Now just slide your hand up as we did at the beginning and feel if something, I don't know, is lighter, easier. And please lie on your back. And while lying on your back, observe your contact with the floor. If something has changed. For example, if you were to compare the contact with the floor of your right shoulder blade. Is that different than your left? And different from how it was a few minutes ago? And please lie on your right side and bring your right arm up with your right ear lying on your right arm and your knees drawn up to be more or less perpendicular, perpendicular to you, perpendicular to the wall in front of you. And now slowly, slowly begin to slide your left hand upwards, exhaling as you do that. That's not doing anything that gives you the slightest bit of discomfort. Feeling where you can reduce the effort in your jaw, in your left hand, your left shoulder. That's it. And now notice it's much easier for you to sense on this side that your left knee is sliding a little forward. You feel that? Your left knee is sliding forward. Not that you need to do anything. It happens because it facilitates the easy movement of your left arm. And your nervous system understands that. You'll see if you contract yourself so that your left leg doesn't move at all, you'll feel, oh, I feel that actually in my left arm. My arm doesn't slide as easily, as comfortably. And now begin to follow with your eyes as your left hand comfortably, easily, without ambition, without desire to do something, slides a little upwards. Good. And feel where you can soften your chest. That's it. And feel it's not just that your chin comes a little bit away from your throat, but that the back of your neck arches a little bit. You feel that? The back of your neck arches. Again, you want to avoid any discomfort. And the primary strategies for doing that are what? Making the movement smaller, going more slowly, or here's a third option for you. You can do the movement in your imagination. That's it. And now look downwards towards your feet with your eyes and notice, oh, I feel that in the movement of my arm. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? I find it fascinating that just moving your eyes downwards, that's it, restricts the easy motion of your left hand going upwards as you exhale. And now let your eyes follow your hand Again, without lifting your head, but allowing your chin to come away from your throat. And then you just stop. Is the moment you feel the slightest change in the quality of that movement of sliding your hand upwards, you stop and feel where you can relax your abdomen, your jaw. I say your abdomen because you can feel that each time you slide your hand upwards, your abdomen is coming a little forward, isn't it? All right. Please rest on your back and observe again if now something has changed in the relationship of your left shoulder, the left side of your upper back to the floor. You see, your brain is eager, and I do mean that. It's enthusiastic and eager to improve, eager for things to become easier. Please lie on your left side again, your left arm long. That's it. And now put your right knee on the floor and straighten your left leg. Straighten your left leg. That's right. And put your right knee on the floor. And if that's uncomfortable, please feel welcome to put a pillow in front of your, under your knee, between your knee and the floor. That's right. And now start again this movement, this slow movement of sliding now your right hand upwards and just observe throughout yourself, where can you reduce your effort? Where are you working that you don't need to? In other words, where are you doing anything intentional that's not necessary? The only intentional thing we're doing, the only purposeful thing we're doing is sliding our right hand in one simple movement upwards. Everything else is not necessary. Now, as you do that, can you feel that the right side of your chest in front, the right side of your chest from your front is moving toward the floor? You feel that? Just slowly. Your stomach is going toward the floor. That's it. And now very slowly, as your chest goes closer to the floor, as your right hand goes upwards, you begin to straighten your right leg as if your right hand is, that's right, provoking your right knee to get longer. That's it. And you begin to find that the right side of your chest, that's right, that the right side of your chest is rolling onto the floor, especially if you allow your right leg to get just as long as your right arm. Only what's easy, though. Only what's comfortable. Of course, your left ear may come off of your left arm. That's it. As you exhale, and of course, what's foreground is feeling where you can do less. With each movement, you're feeling where you can allow your mouth to be open a little. That's right. Are your eyes still moving upwards? Good. Please lie on your back again and observe the right side of yourself, the right side of your lower back, your right side of your upper back compared to the left. And which leg feels longer? The one that was long to begin with, or the leg that we were lengthening, the right one? And again, observe the movement of your lower abdomen as you inhale, feeling the air coming in your nostrils and out. Please lie on your right side and draw up your knees and your right ear on your right arm and your left knee on the floor this time. That's it. Just drawn up as much as is comfortable, only what's comfortable. And if you feel that you want some padding under your knee, between your knee and the floor, that's fine. And slowly begin to lengthen your left hand upwards, feeling again where you can do less, maybe less in your left hand, your left elbow, your left shoulder, and feel how having the left knee on the floor, you can feel much more clearly how your abdomen is going toward the floor. That's it. Just feeling where you can do less. You feel maybe your right ear is beginning to come away from your right arm. That's fine. And now begin to straighten your left leg. But you're straightening your left leg while making a connection in your mind's eye between your left arm and your left leg, and realizing that there's something about lengthening your left leg that counterintuitively is making your left arm a little lighter. You feel that? That the movement of your left arm upwards is somehow a little easier when you lengthen your left knee. That's right. Good. And then you find that at a certain point, as you do that, you're almost lying entirely on your stomach, only doing what's easy, only what's comfortable. That's it. And please, when you're ready, stop and lie on your back again. So what we've been doing, you can think of as a prelude to being able to find a comfortable way, an easy way of coming onto your abdomen, which you were just doing. And again, feel the rising and the falling of your lower abdomen as you inhale and exhale. Just noticing if something, I don't know, feels a little easier, a little more comfortable. And now, please lie on your stomach. And if you desire any of the padding, you find it, you arrange yourself to be comfortable. That's right. And now slowly turn your head to the left so your right ear is facing the floor. That's right. And stand your left hand as if you want, and separate your legs about shoulder width apart, and stand your left hand as if you wanted to do a push-up, but we're not going to do a push-up. And gently push your left hand against the floor in order to help yourself to slide your left shoulder blade toward your spine. That's it. And then you come back and you let your shoulder blade fall, of course, back to the beginning position or the neutral. So as you exhale, you push we'll even be more specific, you push the heel of your left hand against the floor in order to help yourself to lift your left shoulder blade a little bit and slide it toward your spine. Slide that your left shoulder blade is sliding to the right, isn't it? And maybe see if it's helpful to bring your right arm down along your side. See if that's helpful. Good. And of course, you can feel that your right shoulder blade is what? Is sliding to the right. In fact, your whole chest is rolling a little bit to the right, isn't it? And if you think of your chest from in front of yourself, you can feel that the ribs of the left side of your chest are coming away from the floor. You just feel that. And something quite interesting is happening, which is that your right ear is going toward the floor. You feel that? Your right ear, if you relax your neck, you'll feel your right ear is spontaneously going toward the floor as you push with your left hand. All right. Please stop, lie on your back, and just rest for a moment. We'll take some extra pauses on our back during this lesson, but you feel, again, there's something distinctive about your contact with the floor. Something changed. In other words, when movement is mindful, when you're sensing and feeling yourself in the way that you are during this lesson, your brain knows exactly how to help you. Okay, please lie on your stomach again. This time, put your left ear on the floor or looking to the right. And again, you get any kind of accoutrement that you feel you need to be more comfortable. And bring your left arm down alongside yourself and stand your right hand. Stand your right hand so your right elbow is toward the ceiling. That's it. And now, very slowly, push the heel of your right hand against the floor so that you feel your right shoulder blade goes up backwards toward the ceiling a little bit, and then you can direct your right shoulder blade to slide toward your spine. Just slowly, and by creating a mindful experience, what do? You use your attention, the most powerful resource that you have. You use your attention to move about yourself, feeling where you can do less, where you can allow yourself to fail. That's it. It's a small movement, but if you relax your jaw, your neck, if you can feel safe, you'll begin to observe that your left ear is going a little closer to the floor, and that the left side of your chest is moving away from the floor. That's it. Now, see if you can observe how far down your spine do you feel that movement of your shoulder blade sliding? Mm-hmm. You feel it's, you can feel it all the way down to your pelvis and maybe even to your legs. What do I mean by that? You see if you can feel that each time you push your right hand into the ground, into the floor, and slide your shoulder blade to the left, that your pelvis is turning to the left and your right leg is turning a little bit. Your right heel is turning a little bit. You see if you can feel those things. As you exhale, and I only say exhale, or suggest that you exhale, because that will promote your chest being a little more supple, a little softer, more relaxed. That's very good. Now, slowly. Change over your arms, turn your head. Stand your left hand, your left elbow toward the ceiling. That's right. And these are all, what should we call them? These are all possibilities that almost every infant, 1-year-old, 2-year-old, explores. So standing your left hand, see if again you can see how far down your spine do you feel that turning of your ear toward the floor, of your left side of your chest coming away from the floor. That's right. And now, is your pelvis turning also? And if you feel your pelvis turning, is it turning in the same direction? Or is your pelvis turning to the left? In other words, your left side of your pelvis is going toward the floor. And if so, then try the opposite and see how that feels. And now see if taking your eyes toward the ceiling, each time you feel that rolling, you move your eyes toward the ceiling and just observe, in fact, that your whole entire self can contribute to facilitating this small movement of your left shoulder blade sliding, of your head turning. That's it. All right. Please, just for a moment, turn your head and switch your arms again. That's right. And go ahead and add that last variation, which was your eyes turning toward the ceiling, and feel that, in fact, something about your shoulder blade sliding is a little easier. It's as if the eyes are organizing or potentiating those anti-gravity muscles of your back. Mm-hmm. All right. Please stop and rest on your back. Maybe put your hands on your lower abdomen and just observe how you inhale through your nostrils, and it's clear that your abdomen rises, swells a little, and then falls when you exhale. You'll see that as the Feldenkrais lesson progresses, there are changes in your nervous system that are reflected in your breathing. All right, please lie on your abdomen. Turn your head to the right. Separate your legs about shoulder width apart. Again, you can use any accommodation that you want to help yourself to be comfortable. And now stand your right hand as we've been doing. And just a few times, lift your head away from the floor. You lift your head a little bit away from the floor while continuing to look to the right. That's it. Slowly, only what's easy. And notice, are you holding your breath when you do that? You can bring your left arm down along your side. That's it. Good. That's all. That's all. And now lift your head a tiny bit and move your head down as if, that's right, as if you wanted to look at your right foot. So you lift your head and then you bring it down a little bit, keeping your head more or less parallel to the floor or to the extent that you can, and come back and rest. But you think, oh, I'm going to look down towards my right foot, and let your pelvis roll to the right. That's it. To the left, I'm sorry. Very nice. Feel where you can soften the right side of your chest. Mm-hmm. Very nice. And then now, slowly, slowly, turn your head and switch your arms. So your right arm is long. That's it. Your right ear is toward the floor. And your left hand is standing. And don't jump ahead. Just lift your head a few times. Because, why? Because the lifting of your head, you feel, engages your back. Those powerful, lovely anti-gravity muscles. You feel? If you only lift your head and keeping your eyes looking to the left, so you're not turning, you're not wanting to look at the ceiling, you're just lifting your head a little, lifting your head the tiniest bit. And now lift your head the tiniest bit and go ahead and bring your head down as if you wanted to look at your left foot. I'm not saying to see your left foot, saying as if you wanted to see your left foot. And you'll see if you allow your pelvis to roll to the right, suddenly it's a little easier. And if you can feel where to soften, you begin by pushing your left hand, that's right, the heel of your left hand into the floor. That's very good, very good. But slowly, only what's easy, but you can feel how everything we've done, each ingredient that you've integrated into what you're doing, we're still using. Everything is now becoming integrated in such a way that that you can look down. That's it. Very nice. All right. Rest one last time on your back. And one last time, please lie on your stomach. Only this time, stand both hands, both elbows toward the ceiling. And if you have discomfort in your shoulders, you don't stand both hands. You just do what you can do that's comfortable for you. We have to begin at your beginning, not at somebody else's beginning or the beginning that you would like, but we start where we are, and you'll see if you can stay in that, embrace that idea, then you'll find that in a matter of days or weeks, everything is better remarkably. Okay, stand both hands, lift your head just the little bit that you can easily, and bring your head down on the left, uh, as if you wanted to look at your left foot, and roll your pelvis a little bit to the right, and then come back through the middle. That's right, through the middle. What is that? With your nose looking at the floor, and then slowly come down on the right and roll your pelvis a little. Which way? To the left. That's it. So your pelvis rolls in the opposite direction that you're turning, and you keep feeling yourself that the only important thing is doing less. So you slide your head down to the left. You rest whenever you want to. You can rest every 2 or 3 movements. You can rest after 1 movement, and feel where you can do less in your chest and your stomach and your jaw. That's right. Okay, rest a moment on your stomach. Stand both hands. And now both elbows toward the ceiling. That's it. And now slowly put your forehead on the floor. Put your forehead on the floor and lift your head, as helping yourself with your hands against the floor, and look up toward the ceiling with your eyes. That's right. That's it. Just what's easy, just what's comfortable. That's it. Feeling that all the way down your spine, how now you can feel clearly both sides of your chest are lifting away from the floor, aren't they? That's it. And and now you lift your head, just what's easy, looking forward, and turn your head to the right and to the left and to the right and to the left. Maybe stick out your tongue to the right and look to the left and stick out your tongue to the left. That's it. Good. And stick out your tongue. Very nice. Please lie on your back. And Bend your knees, stand your feet, just simply. Feel the movement of your lower abdomen as you inhale. Interlace your fingers and bring your hands behind your head. And now slowly, again, only what's easy, you lift your head with your hands and look down toward your pelvis. That's it. And now go back to the floor and rest a moment. And again, lift your head and look downwards with your eyes. That's right. Feel how your lower back goes a little closer to the floor each time you do that. And now bring your arms down along your side. That's it. Stretch out your legs. And remember, before we started the lesson, before we started, I asked you to draw an imaginary line that went down your forehead and your nose and your chin, and then asked you, where does that line go now? Which foot does it go toward? And just observe for a moment if your appreciation of that line is different, if the direction of that line is different. And please bend your knees, both knees this time, and roll to your side. And please come to sitting slowly and slowly come to standing. And of course, if you've been sitting in the chair, you slowly come to standing, very slowly. And now, before you take a walk, just observe if the top of your head is closer at all to the ceiling. Mm-hmm. And if you're somehow, that's right, the back of your head feels a little further back than how you usually appreciate yourself. That's right. And if somehow your chest feels a little wider and your shoulders feel a little lower, and please walk around just so that you can feel if something has changed in your feeling of lightness or heaviness or ease. Something is lighter about your legs. And relax your abdomen. And your breathing is simple. Now, I hope that over the next few hours, you can not do anything that is stressful for yourself, that you can lie down if possible, that no stressful conversations and just appreciate what is different. And I believe that over the next hour or so, that the changes will actually expand, multiply as your brain feels your new orientation in space. That's right. So I think you'll discover that helping yourself in this way, improving in this way, is remarkably effective and, dare I say, pleasurable. So I look forward to seeing you next week. And if you have any questions, please feel welcome to write to us. And thank you very much.